It is the 11th of March, 2022, and it's around 4:42. Just wanted to make another video. I want to remember what everything was like, and I want to, in case for some reason I can't recall what happened or what was going on at the time, just in the future for some reason. I had, I'm not sure if I said, but I had, my physical therapy was approved for 6 sessions. So I've been doing that. Last week I started, I had my first two, and it went okay. But I was really happy. I even told the physical therapist, I was like, I miss you, and she was like, oh, you're so nice, and I was like, no, really. Because I was able to do the stretches that they told me in the 2 sessions that I had in December, but around beginning of February up to the end of February, they were getting really hard to do, and eventually I couldn't do any of them without it's not cracking, it's when the tendon rubs together and it's that sound. I don't know, it's like it sounds like cracking, but it's not cracking, it's just like thrumming back and forth. And when I had my 2 sessions in December, my physical therapist said that was a sign of injury, and that we needed to strengthen that. And I was like, cool. But when I wasn't able to get physical therapy from January to now, I was still trying to do the stretches that they had taught me in those 2 sessions. However, I was still getting that thrumming of my ligament, and eventually I couldn't do them anymore without any pain or with that feeling of it moving back and forth over my bone. So that's where we started last week. We started with the stretches that I already knew, and then she added like a couple of I don't want to say toys, but like instruments, I guess, to help me move more. Like there was a wedge that's like a half a wedge that's flat on the top and then round on the bottom, so I get more of the this motion than I would do on my by myself. And then there was also like a flat plastic thing that had like half a ball underneath, so it would you could do this motion on it, and it was pretty cool. So she added those in, as well as heel toe lifts, just all sitting, and it was okay. But when she added the heel toe lifts, I started to get shaking in my foot, and it really freaked me out. She had stepped away because they're always so busy. But she had stepped away and was like, okay, do the stretches. And I was like, okay, no problem. And she had stepped away, and I was almost done, and then my foot started shaking. And I was like, what the hell? And it's kind of like if anyone's had like if you're diabetic or have low blood sugar, when you get like shaky like that, it felt like that, but just isolated in my foot. It was really weird. If it didn't feel like my foot was even attached anymore, I could feel the pain and I could feel like the muscles twitching and anything, but just like watching it, because I wasn't doing that movement on purpose, it was crazy. Like I didn't know what to do. I almost started crying because I was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. But and she saw it, and she was just like, oh, that's kind of normal since we're getting back into it, and I asked her, like, well, how long is this gonna last, like, in the long run? And she was like, well, it varies from person to person, but it shouldn't be that long. And I was like, okay, well, as long as you see what's happening, and as long as you see, because she's the doctor. So I'm like, as long as you see that, A, I'm not doing it, and B, what exactly is happening, so I don't have to like describe it, and then have them like not understand what I'm saying or like misinterpret it. So I was just like, cool, I have somebody who sees this. So that was my first session. And then the shaking kind of lasted up until the next day, which was crazy. And because I had my appointment on Tuesday and then Thursday, I think. And when I got to my second appointment, which was last Thursday, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, last Thursday, my foot was still shaking, and it was shaking really bad. Like, they even like came over and were like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "This is just what it's been doing. Like, I'm fine." Like, luckily I had my cane to keep me balanced, but I'm just like, I'm fine. You guys said that this was gonna happen, so I haven't been worried about it. Well, not too worried about it, I guess. But so we did some of the exercises. They had me do a bike, which was nice. I still couldn't really push all the way without stopping, just because my foot would go like this, and then it would jerk forward, and then I would be able to start pedaling. But it would go like every time I used the injured foot, it would just jerk, and then I would like pedal the rest of the way until it got back up. But so that happened. But I did most of the stretches, but I haven't been able to do that plastic top with the half ball underneath it since, because every time I get to the wedge, and then they'll have me pick up marbles individually with my foot. By the time I get there, my foot is just shaking uncontrollably. The last time my therapist helped me roll it, she actually had to physically hold it down in order for me to roll it, because I just wasn't moving and it was just like jerking the whole time. So she actually had to like hold my foot down and roll it for me, because I couldn't do it. And then that time, and then I had another appointment Tuesday. We had to cut the appointments not too short. Like, I was still there for about like 50 minutes actually working, but we couldn't really do the full hour, just because they were like, you can't do much because it's still shaking. And I was like, yeah, fair. And it was really wild, like, because I'm just trying to exercise my foot. I'm not exercising my whole body or anything. But I was just sweating on this last Tuesday. I was just like, there was sweat dripping down my knees and everything, because it was really hard, and I wasn't expecting that. So yesterday I went, and I was exhausted. I didn't do anything Wednesday after my Tuesday session, because it seems like between Tuesday and then Wednesday I didn't do anything. And then yesterday was my 4th physical therapy appointment. And then today I'm just freaking exhausted. Like, it's been really hard to like, paying attention has been really hard. I'm getting headaches. They were concerned about that because they were like, "Oh, is anything like happening weird?" And I'm like, I'm getting headaches, but I'm pretty sure it's just because I'm in so much pain, and I'm like gritting my teeth that I'm just getting headaches. And they're like right here and then in my eyes, and I just want to freaking close my eyes and like just chill. But it seems like it takes me about a day to recover from physical therapy. But even then, like, I'm still really tired afterwards. And the shaking has gotten better ish. It wasn't as bad as last week. Because last week it lasted like, I went Thursday, and then I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and then I went Tuesday. And I was still shaking. Like, it was still shaking. Not terribly bad, but it was still like noticeably shaking. But this week, between Tuesday and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, the shaking died off around like Wednesday, and I didn't have any shaking Thursday until I went in, and then I left, and then I was, of course, shaking. Then I went to go visit my in-laws, and I was there for like maybe 3 hours, and 2 of those hours it was still like shaking. But it's okay now, it's not shaking. But if I walk too much, like I went to a couple stores and then it started shaking again. So, yesterday I wasn't with my usual physical therapist because she was booked. So I had one of the assistants, which she's great. I love her. She's really great. But she went to go check in another patient and said to, the physical therapist who I usually have, like, hey, can you watch them? Like, I'm just going to check them in real quick, and then I'll be right back. And she was like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. And then noticed I was shaking so bad, actually came over and told me to stop doing the stretches and just chill for a second, and actually started asking me, like, do you have any history of neurological issues? Have you ever had a seizure, a stroke, like anything wrong with the brain? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, because it shouldn't be lasting this long. Like, I guess it should have maybe lasted last week and that was it. Because I'm doing the same stretches daily, in addition to, going to therapy twice a week. It should be used to those stretches by now. And, I'm really, not adamant, but I'm making sure to do my stretches like every day. They said 2 sets of 10 twice a day. So I do it once in the morning and once in the evening. So I've been doing those every day, including when I go to therapy. So my foot should be used to those stretches. But they're not. And it's still shaking. So they're a little concerned about that. They wanted me to contact my primary care doctor. But I have my workers' comp doctor appointment on Tuesday, and then I have physical therapy on Monday. My doctor's appointment on Tuesday. So I'm just going to wait until I go then, because I don't want to involve too many doctors. I don't, and I want it to be with workers' comp, because I was reading on the state laws that if I can actually seek treatment from my doctor, like my personal doctor, and that the workers' comp would have to reimburse me, but I don't trust them. Like, I do not trust them at all to compensate me, for any treatment outside of the network that they have. I've already had so many problems with them. I don't even want to add one more. And right now we can't afford for me to like seek personal treatment. I can't do that. We're barely making rent as it is. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of know everything. Kind of take note of how I'm feeling. I'm freaking exhausted. I took a bath because from my knee down, it's just freaking sore from like all of the shaking. It's just, It's awful. So I was like, well, let me take a bath, see if that'll help. And it did help a little bit. It actually started shaking in the bath, which I was just like, great. I can't even enjoy this. But I was able to get through it, and I almost fell asleep because I was just like, oh my God, this feels so good. But yeah, I'm just really tired today. And it's been really hard. Like, I'm trying not to nap so that I can sleep during through the night, because I really don't want to fuck up my sleep schedule. Because then I'll just be asleep all day and then awake all night, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, I've been trying not to nap during the day. I've taken a couple naps just because it's been so hard. And I was thinking, I was just like, man, I feel like this, I'm not even working. Like, this is literally just from my leg, from my foot. And yeah, so that's the update for now. I have my appointments on Monday and Tuesday. And then I was only approved for 6 physical therapy appointments. And that's next week. Next Thursday, I believe, is my last one. I have no idea if they're still concerned about the shaking, if I still have shaking next week. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, it sounded to me like because I overheard her talking with another patient, that once the 6 sessions end, then the workers' comp people will have to approve, however many more, like another 6, I think, or whatever. I think it depends on the person, but I don't know. They would have to go back and approve more. And I'm just like, it took them almost 3 months to approve 6. And I'm hoping that the new doctor has like another game plan, that they see me on Monday, and that's when they put in the request for more, instead of waiting until the last one and then requesting it and then waiting whoever knows how long. But yeah, that's what's going on. I'm very tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired physically and emotionally. I feel I'm thirsty all the time. I'm just like, I'm hoping this doesn't last for much longer. But like, I was hoping that I would get my physical therapy, go to physical therapy, get better, go back to work. I was really hoping to be back, well, like friggin' in December. But I was just like, after the whole radio silence from workers' comp and everybody for like 2 months, and then finally approving it, I was just like, okay, cool, now it's just gonna be streamlined. One thing after the other. Physical therapy will go great. I'll go back to work. Maybe they'll have like another couple checkups to make sure I'm doing okay, and then everything will be great. And that's not what's happening. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go take a nap.